Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on the black water, keep on rolling.
Welcome back. You're listening to Home Wizards, where we love to improve your home and improve your life. I'm Cindy Dole.
I'm Eric Stromer, and you know what? I used to listen to that song in 8th grade, probably 500 times.
Really? I bet you can sing it. Come on, sing it.
I ain't got no worries, 'cause I ain't in no hurry at all.
Woo! Yeah, Eric Stromer.
Isn't that pretty? I love that song.
It's a singing show.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, we've been talking about Eric's Pond because who doesn't want to have a water feature somewhere where you live? I mean, it's something that's very soothing. It's relaxing. It's beautiful. It's where nature just kind of comes together.
Yeah, and so if you have this beautiful pond, which this will be, because I'm going to make the world's most glorious water feature.
It's going to be great.
But you just have a big tub with nothing in it. Who cares, right? So what do you do?
Yeah, I think the plants make a huge contribution to the pond.
I agree. I've always been a little overwhelmed by the plants because it seems like there's it takes it to another level of care. So what do you do?
Well,
just give me a basic overview of how this works.
It is an ecosystem that takes care of itself in a nutshell.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done. Goodbye.
Thank you. Well, that was your Home Wizards, and we're done.
I was a little nervous, too, because these flowers, they look so exotic. When you think of lilies, lily pads, and all of that. But they are so low maintenance and so easy to do.
Okay, but do I need to go to another level of filtration with plants, or can I just throw them in this recycling water and it'll be okay?
It'll be okay.
All right.
Yeah. So here is the deal, is that it's going to enhance not only the look of the pond, but how it performs in terms of being healthier.
So keeping it bio-fresh,
Exactly.
essentially. Really?
Exactly.
Okay.
And pond plants, there's so many different kinds that do different things. A pond isn't complete, I don't think, without having some of these pond plants or aquatic plants, if you will. So let's talk about some of what they can do. Whether you say you're not going to have fish right now.
No, it's too overwhelming.
That's fine, but you could at least get some of these lilies.
Well, I see. By the way, I grew up going to northern Wisconsin every year. They've got these beautiful water lilies that just bloom during the day, and they smell so amazing. And actually, there's a bounty on them. If you take one out, you can be charged like $10,000.
Really?
That's how much they honor and protect.
Isn't
these
that great?
lilies? Yeah.
It's kind of
to recreate that in my own pond would be amazing.
You need to do that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in Holland, Michigan, if you take one of the tulips, because they have that tulip festival there. If you take some of the tulips, if you pick a tulip, you'll be fined. Because it's part of the...
Or beaten with a rubber hose. Depends on who's
or with
enforcing.
a wet tulip, a noodle.
Ooh, that would... How humiliating.
How humiliating. Well, you mentioned water lilies and how it reminds you of growing up.
Yeah.
You've got to get some of these water lilies. The thing is, I love the night blooming water lily, and the secret is that particular variety knows to open at night, because then the insects that are hanging out at night will come out and help pollinate the plant, and that's how that works. But you can just Google night blooming water lilies, and they have a few different colors, and the one that we got smells like jasmine.
Oh, man.
And it has a white and yellow bloom, and it's so cool because during the day we have the regular day blooming lilies sitting in the pond, and they're doing their thing in purples and pinks and yellows, oranges, all different colors. And then you get the night blooming one, and so it's always blooming. There's always something going on.
Okay, now are these the ones that are floating freely, or are they in the... I've seen some that are in pots in the water.
Okay, good question. So what we did was we chose to keep our pots intact.
Okay.
We are able to conceal it, and so the way that the lily pads themselves float is that you can't see that there's a pot in there. It hides itself.
Yeah.
We chose to do it that way because if you plant it in the pond, the roots can sometimes just kind of take over your pond.
That's what I thought. Okay, so you keep them contained.
Keep them in the container that you buy them in.
Okay, in plastic, essentially.
In those black plastic tubs.
And then because the liner's black, you don't see them.
And because the lily pads, the leaves, and then you get a couple of other little things there's something called water lettuce.
Okay.
And these are guys, and these, the life of these aquatic plants are usually from the spring to the fall, and then they go dormant in the colder months.
Okay, but you leave them in there.
You leave them in there, and you feed them once a month a fertilizer, a little, aquatic plant, little vitamin, if you will.
Okay.
But you get something called water lettuce, and it looks almost like a little head of lettuce.
Huh.
and it floats right on the surface, and that will disguise these little containers that are now just sitting perched at the different mounds in your pond.
So the surface of the water is obscured by all the flowers that you have.
I mean,
that sounds
in
great.
certain areas. I mean, you don't want the whole thing to be littered with all these. You want to have open water in some areas, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway.
I'm just glad to know that they have fragrance. See, I love because we have great jasmine by our house,
You've got to
and the honeysuckle, which I love, and now this, it's going to take it to another level.
So just like everything we talk about in design, and as you mentioned in your pond, you have mounds of dirt in different heights, berms, so it's going to look like nature, and it's going to make it interesting for the eye. You want to think of that when you're looking at your pond and the plants, different heights.
Okay.
So the lilies, they're going to be flat. The leaves are flat, those big, round, almost frisbee-sized leaves will float on top of the surface. And by the way, some of them are variegated that look gorgeous. I mean, sometimes
you mean the leaves themselves?
The leaves themselves have this veining of kind of like coppers and burgundy. There's some that are just neon green, that are plain neon green.
I'm thinking I might have to create like a lifeguard chair to just look down at this thing. This is sounding overwhelmingly beautiful.
With a whistle.
Yeah. Get out of the pond, kid. Yeah.
So I think you need to have a couple of the lilies and get a night blooming one, and in the daytime with a couple of different types of leaves, variegated and regular green. And by the way, there are garden centers that specialize. I mean, some garden centers would have water plants, but I would say that you want to go to the specialty aquatic plant centers if you can find them,
because
they have more exotic.
You'll get unusual stuff.
They're great. So back to the height thing. Horsetail is always a good one. You know horsetail.
I do, yeah.
And that's something that you can plant in the ground or in a container, but it just so happens to like to live in water too. And so if you were to get a couple of those tubs, you can find those.
So you mean it jets out of the water?
Yeah.
Yes.
See? And so those are really fun because now it's creating height. You could put those at the sides of the pond, sitting in the container, and then you would add maybe some of this water lettuce kind of on top. So the water lettuce just floats randomly. It doesn't even need soil. It just floats in water, and it has its roots just kind of dangling down.
Okay, so then when you service the pond, you would just take it out and put it in a 5-gallon bucket in water.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, just take it all out, because that's what I do every week. I maintain the pond, and you just take them out to the side.
Yeah.
You can even just kind of keep them on your grass or on the whatever hard surface just for a few moments, and then put them back in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good. This sounds fun.
Helpful. So I think you're going to like to have a little bit of that. You got to have the canna.
What's that?
The cannas. Those are very tropical, where they stand. A lot of people have cannas growing on the sides of their homes because they, again, create height. But the leaves kind of stand up to the sky in burgundies and golds. Again, very beautiful veining.
You're looking a little like Baryshnikov with your hand gestures as you stand there looking up at a 45-degree angle, describing the canna.
Right, but
look at your arm position. It's amazing.
But the flowers of the canna come in bright red. I would recommend that you get a bright red canna because it's going to give you some of that pop that you want. But you get the canna. It comes in reds and yellows and kind of a peach.
Oh, it almost looks like an iris, doesn't it?
It is. The flower kind of resembles an iris.
Yeah.
It's also known as ginger, if you will, and it comes from that family. So the leaves themselves are really, really pretty, and it grows and it propagates new ones very easily too.
This is the kind of environment that will make me maybe want to wear a coconut bra and have a ukulele. It's almost got that South Pacific feel now, doesn't it?
Yeah. So you need to have the cannas, the lilies, the horsetail. And there's so many others. We'll put them up on the website. I mean, I think the whole idea of pond plants, it just takes you to a whole other world.
Yeah, it does. And frankly, it's making me a little anxiety-ridden because not only do I have to pick plants for the surrounding area, but now I got to get into this. Maybe you're going to make a list for me.
I will make you a list.
Okay.
And then you're going to have your beautiful grasses, right? That'll kind of give you more of that cozy
kind of that wispy,
surround.
It's been here for 100 years.
Yep. You're going to be sitting out there. Do you have a pond bench?
No, but
I think Amy need a little pond bench, so you can be sitting there, having a beverage.
Wait a minute, quit spending my money, because I still got to get my grilling tool belt.
Oh, we got things. I know. See what we do? We make you want to buy things.
Look how much money I spent today. It's crazy.
Home Wizards, we help improve your home, improve your life, and hopefully don't do too much damage to your pocketbook. But hey, we're trying to make your space better. That's Eric Stromer singing a little "Fix It Man." We're back in a moment. Now, Now, as a contractor, you used Dunn Edwards paint, didn't you?
Boy, they sure are a good company when it comes to contractor relations and getting your product early in the morning, getting it out on time. So yes, forever, for years and years.
Well, Dunn Edwards has created this perfect palette collection with 1,696 different colors to choose from dreamy blue to striking red to what you wanted, the melon color.
I want the melon color on my front door.
I think that sounds
yummy.
Because
I've got a traditional tan and black shutters look. Have a red door now. I think I'm going melon.
That melon sounds really fresh.
Happen.
Doesn't that sound nice?
Yes, it does.
With a little pop, would you put a pop trim?
Color. Yeah, you know I will. Pop a color. Bam, there it is.
So go to Dunn Edwards in the neighborhood paint store near you and let them help add a little color to your home. Just check it out. Go to dunnedwards.com. They'll help you with what's the right finish, how do you choose the perfect color, and the friendly people in every store will be happy to answer all your questions. dunnedwards.com.